So now we'll do some previous year's mains questions. Okay, so this is the first question. See this. A circular loop of radius 0.3 centimeter. A circular loop of radius. 1 minute. A circular loop of radius 0.3 centimeter lies parallel to a much bigger much bigger circular loop, circular loop of radius 20 centimeter. Of radius 20 centimeter. Okay, so the radius of the small one is 3 centimeter. The radius of the big one is 20 centimeter. The center of the small loop is on the axis of the bigger loop. Okay, so the center of small loop is the center of small loop is on the axis of the bigger loop. On the axis of bigger loop. The distance between their centers is 15 centimeter. The distance between their centers is 15 centimeter. A current of 2 ampere. Flows through the small loop. Then the flux linked with the bigger loop is. Then the flux linked with the smaller loop is linked with the smaller loop is sorry, then the flux linked with the bigger loop is, okay, sorry, not smaller loop children, bigger loop. The bigger loop is okay. So this was the question given in 2013 main. This is the options. Try this, all of you. 9.2 into 10 to the power of minus 11 Weber. So 6 into 10 to the power of minus 11 Weber. 3.3 into 10 to the power of minus 11 Weber. 6.6 into 10 to the power of minus 9 Weber. Okay. So try this children for 2 minutes. Yes. So let me see if we can solve this. See, a circular loop of radius 3 centimeter. This is not required. of radius 3 centimeter lies parallel to a much bigger circular lobe of radius 20 centimeter. The center of the small lobe is on the axis of the bigger lobe. So the distance between the centers is 15 centimeter. So if a current of 2 ampere flows through the small lobe, if a current of 2 ampere flows through the small lobe, then the flux linked with the bigger lobe is. You copy that, children, and try this. So which option is correct? Yes, anyone? Tell me the answer. Yes. What the answer, children? The correct answer is A. The correct answer is A. So here, say this is the bigger loop and say this is the smaller loop. Both are coaxial. This radius is 20 centimeter and this radius is 3 centimeter, and we are passing electric current here. First, to find the magnetic field. So at the place of the larger lobe, this is 15 centimeter. This is equal to x. So B is equal to mu naught I r square divided by 2 into r square plus x square whole power 3 by 2. First, you find the B due to this current. Okay, so x value is 15 centimeter, r value here. So current is passing the smaller loop. So current is passing the smaller loop. But now, so to find the flux, so even though here current is passing the smaller loop, mutual inductance is same. Okay, so for that you can assume that current is passing in the bigger loop. Okay, so first we find the magnetic field due to bigger loop. We find the magnetic field. Suppose if the same current is passing the bigger loop, what will be the magnetic field at the place of smaller loop? Okay, so it is already I told you that whenever you have to find the mutual inductance, assume current I in the bigger loop, then find the total flux linked with the smaller loop, then that total flux should be equal to Mi. Same logic. Okay, so here if we substitute everything here, so mu naught is 4 pi into 10 to the power of minus 7, current is 2 ampere, 20 centimeter, 20 into 10 to the power of minus 2 whole square divided by 2 into r square. So same 0.2 we can say 0.2 square plus 0.15 square whole power 3 by 2. So you'll get magnetic field. So this is the magnetic field. Now what is the flux? So if you send current here, flux is nothing but B into A. B into A. Flux is equal to B into A. B already we have here. So flux is given by A means area of the smaller loop. Why? Because here we assume the current in the bigger loop. So 4 pi into 10 to the power of minus 7, okay, into 2 into 0.2 whole square divided by, so 2 into, okay, 0.2 square plus 0.15 square whole power 3 by 2. Okay, so into pi r square. Pi into r value here is r value 0. Radius of the smaller one 0.03 whole square. So if you simplify, we'll get flux to be 9.2 into 10 to the power of minus 11 Weber. Copy that, children. Learn, children. Then okay, next question you see. Proton, deuteron and alpha particle. Proton, deuteron and alpha particles. And alpha particles. Alpha particles of same kinetic energy. Same kinetic energy. of same kinetic energy are moving in circular trajectories, are moving in circular trajectories, in a constant magnetic field, in a constant magnetic field, in a constant magnetic field. The radii of proton, the radii of radii of proton, the radii of proton, deuteron, and alpha particle, are respectively Rp. Okay, that I'll write. Why? Because here suffixes will not work. Okay. So which of the following relation is correct? Which of the following relation is correct? Relation is correct. Which of the following relation is correct? Okay. So see children, here Rp, Rd, R alpha. Okay, so which of the following relation is correct? R alpha equal to Rp equal to Rd. So R alpha is equal to Rp less than Rd. So R alpha greater than Rd greater than Rp. So R alpha is equal to Rd greater than Rp. Okay, try this children. Okay, correct. Ananya correct. Karthik Avinash correct. Suhas Paide correct. Yes, others. So they are entering with the same kinetic energy. They are entering with the same kinetic energy. Yes, others. So the correct option is B. That's true. Here, they are entering with the same kinetic energy. So when they are entering with the same kinetic energy, so what is the radius? What is radius of the proton? So it is they are entering with the same kinetic energy, 2m ke divided by qb. What is the radius of deuteron? So 2m ke divided by q is same, qb. Radius of alpha particle, 2 times of 4m ke divided by 2 qb. It is equal to radius of proton. It is equal to root 2 times of radius of proton. Okay, so this is radius of proton. Now see, radius of proton is equal to radius of proton equal to radius of alpha particle, that is less than radius of deuteron. So copy that, children. Copy that, children. One more minute. Then children. Then children. Okay, next question. So this is a nice question. A charge Q is uniformly distributed. A charge Q is uniformly distributed. Uniformly distributed over the surface of a non-conducting disk over the surface of non-conducting disk non-conducting disk non-conducting disk of radius r of radius capital R. The disk rotates. So the disk rotates about an axis perpendicular to its plane about an axis about an axis perpendicular to its plane perpendicular to its plane about an axis perpendicular to its plane and passing through its center 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 with an angular velocity with an angular velocity with an angular velocity with an angular velocity omega with an angular velocity omega. As a result of this rotation, as a result of this rotation, as a result of this rotation, a magnetic field of induction B, a magnetic field of induction B a magnetic field of induction B induction B of induction B is obtained at the center of the disk is obtained at the center of the disk at the center of the disk obtained at the center of the disk. If we keep both the amount of charge if we keep both the amount of charge, both the amount of charge, both the amount of charge placed on the disk, placed on the disk, placed on the disk, and its angular velocity to be constant, and its angular velocity to be constant, angular velocity to be constant, to be constant, and vary the radius of the disk, and vary the radius of the disk, and vary the radius of the disk, vary the radius of the disk. Then the variation of magnetic induction, then the variation of, then the variation of magnetic induction, magnetic induction, induction. The center of the disk will be at the center of the disk will be the center of the disk, and the center of the disk, why it's not coming, the center of the disk, disk will be, okay, I'll write that, disk will be, okay, that's the maximum, I think, okay. So center of the disk will be, 1 minute. So it has limit, I think, the number of letters. Disk will be, okay, will be, okay. So these are the options. Graphs. This is B, this is R. Option B. This is B, this is R. So C, this is B, this is R. This is B, this is R. Like this. Okay. Do that, children. Do that. So how it is related to, how that magnetic induction is related to R? Try that. So not sure. So has, okay. No, no, you simplify. See, don't tell orally like that, just like that. So do it. So a charge Q is uniformly distributed over the surface of a non-conducting disk of radius R. The disk rotates about an axis perpendicular to its plane and passing through the center with an angular velocity omega. So as a result of this rotation, magnetic field of induction B is obtained at the center of the disk. So if we keep Q and what is that, omega constant, then how it is related to radius? That's what they're asking. Do that. Okay, do that, and then so take 2 minutes time and do it and tell me that. Mathematically obtain the relation. Whether it is B is proportional to R, or B is inversely proportional to R, or B is proportional to R square, or B is inversely proportional to R square, you obtain that relation. Then children, anyone got it? Okay, so the correct option is A. The correct option is inversely proportional to R. You can divide this entire disk into small ring elements. You can divide this entire disk into small ring elements. First, find the magnetic field due to this ring element. How to do that? First, you find sigma. Sigma equal to Q divided by pi r square. Now, so what is the charge contained by this ring element? It is sigma into 2 pi x into dx, where dx is the thickness of that element. Now, what is the current constituted by this? So dq into omega by 2 pi. So I is equal to 2 pi sigma x into dx into omega by 2 pi. So 2 pi gets cancelled. Okay. So I is equal to what we'll get here. Okay. Current is nothing but charge into frequency. Current constituted by rotating charges, charge into frequency. Frequency is omega by 2 pi. So we'll get sigma omega x into dx. This is the current. So this is a circular current. What is the magnetic field produced by small circular current? Mu naught I by 2x at the center. So dB is equal to mu naught I is sigma omega x into dx divided by 2 into x. X gets cancelled. So dB is equal to mu naught sigma omega by 2 into dx. Okay. So to get the total magnetic field, integrate. Okay. So dB is equal to integral dB equal to mu naught sigma omega by 2 integral dx. So 0 to capital R. So the total magnetic field is given by mu naught sigma omega R divided by 2. But sigma is what? B is equal to mu naught omega by 2 R Q by pi r square. Okay. So one R will be cancelled. So B is inversely proportional to R. B is inversely proportional to R, children. Okay. So copy that. That's why you'll get a rectangular hyperbola. Copy that. Take 2 minutes time. Sir, can I explain the last step again? Last step. Okay. I just substituted sigma equal to Q by pi r square. Okay. After integration. Okay. After integration, integral dx is x. Lower limit is 0, upper limit is r. So r you will get, no? Okay. First you copy till here. I'll explain. Copy till here. Here, sigma is equal to, okay, V is equal to mu naught omega r by 2 into sigma. What is sigma? Q by pi r square, right? In the numerator, you have one r. This r will get cancelled with this r. So now only one r is remaining in the denominator, right? Q is constant, omega is constant, mu a naught is constant, 2 pi is constant. So you'll get mu naught omega Q by 2 pi r. See here, where you have r in the denominator. So B is inversely proportional to r. B is inversely proportional to radius. So that's why you'll get rectangular hyperbola. Done, children? Copied that? Okay, children. Okay, next. Next question. A thin circular disk of radius a thin circular disk of radius r is uniformly charged is uniformly charged with the density sigma greater than 0. Okay, that I'll write. Sigma greater than 0 per unit area. They gave sigma in the question. So the disk rotates about its axis. The disk rotates about its axis with a uniform angular speed omega. With a uniform angular speed omega. The magnetic moment of the disk is magnetic moment of the disk is okay. So they're asking magnetic moment of the disk. So sigma is given. Sigma greater than 0. It's not negative. This means that it has positive charge. That's what the meaning is. So try this. 2 pi r to the power of 4 sigma omega pi r to the power of 4 pi r to the power of 4 by 2 sigma omega pi r to the power of 4 by 4 sigma omega. The fourth option I forgot. Pi r to the power of 4 divided by 4 sigma omega. Yes. They're asking magnetic moment of the disk. C and D are both are same. 1 minute. This is 2. Okay. This is 2. Okay. Now you do it. Option B and C are same. Okay. Then yes. This is B. Okay. Anyhow, correct option is D, children. Correct option is D. Okay. Now I'll solve it. See, children, here a thin circular disk. So a thin circular disk has sigma surface charge density, and it is rotated like this with a constant angular velocity omega, right? Okay. Now we can apply gyromagnetic ratio. Gyromagnetic ratio is nothing but m by L is equal to q by 2m, children, where m is the mass of it. M is nothing but magnetic moment. M equal to q by 2m into L. L is nothing but angular momentum. So q by 2m, angular momentum is nothing but I omega. So m is equal to q by 2m. What is I? Moment of inertia. M r square divided by 2 into omega. But what is Q? Sigma into pi r square. Sigma into pi r square divided by 2m into m r square into omega by 2. M gets cancelled here. Okay, so what is remaining here? Pi is remaining. Pi. So sigma is remaining. Omega is remaining. R to the power of 4 divided by 4. This is the answer. So you can just make use of, what is that? Gyromagnetic ratio. Gyromagnetic ratio for any rotating charge is Q by 2m. Copy that, children. Then, children. So next question. A current I flows in an infinitely long wire. So a current I, capital I, flows in an infinitely long wire, in an infinitely long wire, with cross section, in the form of a semicircular ring, in the form of a semicircular ring, of radius capital R. The magnitude of magnetic induction, of the magnetic induction along its axes Okay, children. So along 1 minute, what is this? Along its axes. Okay. So a current I flows in an infinitely long wire with a cross section in the form of a semicircular ring. Okay. So of radius R, the magnitude of magnetic induction along its axis is. Okay. Here are the options. Mu naught I divided by 2 pi square R, B mu naught I by 2 pi R, C mu naught I by 4 pi R, and D mu naught I divided by pi square R. Yes. So do this, children. So it's actually a hollow cylinder. Hollow cylinder is cut into 2 pieces along the diameter. That one piece. Understood, children? Is actually it is a hollow cylindrical wire. That hollow cylindrical wire is cut into 2 pieces. Copy that, children. Third problem was also we could have used the third problem. No, their magnetic field they're asking. No. See, there they're asking magnetic field in the third problem. If for usage of gyromagnetic ratio, they should ask magnetic moment. Magnetic moment. Graph problem only, man. See, graph problem only I'm talking about. See, gyromagnetic ratio is nothing but magnetic moment by angular momentum. But here is not magnetic field. Magnetic field is different. Magnetic moment is different. There they are asking only magnetic field, not magnetic moment. Okay. Yes, yes. That's why you have not used. Okay. So do this. Try this. Ananya, no, not correct. Okay. Now, so it is semicircular shape, right? So it will be like this. Say it is like this. 1 minute. Okay. So now, say current is towards us. Current is towards us. Okay. So now then, you divide this entire semicircular wire into small elements. Consider a small element, so which subtends an angle d theta at an angle theta. Now it will produce a magnetic field perpendicular to the radius vector. So like this. This is dB. This is dB. So now, so what is di? So what is the small amount of current? Small amount of current di in the small element. The small section is given by. So I divided by pi r. I divided by pi r into. So the length of this element you say dx. So dx. So di is equal to I divided by pi r. We have to divide this entire semicircular wire into small elements. Dx is nothing but r d theta. So r gets cancelled. So di is equal to, so I d theta divided by pi. So once you get di, what is the magnetic field due to this di? dB is equal to mu naught by, assume it to be infinitely long wire. Mu naught di divided by 2 pi r. 2 pi r. This is the magnetic field due to the small section. Assume it to be infinitely long wire. So we'll get here mu naught I d theta divided by pi into 2 pi r. So this is small magnetic field. So dB is equal to mu naught I d theta divided by 2 pi square r. To get the total magnetic field, you have to integrate between minus pi by 2 to, okay. And also here, you can resolve this into two components. You can resolve this into two components. If this is theta, this also will be theta. Now you can resolve this into dB sine theta and dB cos theta. Okay. So dB cos theta. So now, so if you consider one more element, so that will be that will cancel. Only dB cos theta will be remaining. dB sin theta will go. dB sin theta will go. Only dB cos theta will be remaining. So what is that net dB cos theta? Integral. The total magnetic field is given by integral dB cos theta. dB cos theta. Okay. dB cos theta. Okay. So B is equal to integral dB is what? Mu naught I by 2 pi square r cos theta into d theta. So B is equal to, limits are minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Okay. So the net magnetic field is given by, mu naught I by 2 pi square r integral cos theta into d theta minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. When I substitute the limits, so we'll get, what is that value? That value will be 2, I think. This value will be 2. So the 2 gets cancelled. You'll get mu naught I by pi square r. Option D. Integral cos theta is sin theta. Sin 90 minus of minus sin 90 will get 2. That is value of that integral. Value of that integral is 2. Copy that, children. Done? Done, children? Okay, next question. So there is a wire like this. This is A, B, C, D. So it's a part of the circle. Okay, so there is one wire here which carries current out of the screen. 1 minute. This is I1. This is I. This is 30 degrees. What they're asking? This is B. What they're asking? The magnitude of the magnetic field. The magnitude of the magnetic field. The magnitude of the magnetic field. Magnetic field. Magnitude of the magnetic field. B. Due to loop ABCD. Due to loop ABCD. At the origin O is. At the origin O is. At the origin O is. Yes. Due to ABCD at the origin. Okay, then it is not required. This is O. Yes. Due to origin O is. Okay. So do this, children. Options are, these are two curved. 0 B mu naught B minus A divided by 24 AB C mu naught I divided by 4 pi into B minus A divided by AB. Option D, mu naught I divided by 4 pi into 2 into B minus A plus pi by 3 into A plus B. Okay, copy that. Try. Okay, so how to solve this? See here, children. So this is a part of the circle. So here the side parts will not produce any magnetic field here. Side parts will not produce any magnetic field, only curved parts. So this part will produce magnetic field out of the screen. This part will produce magnetic field into the screen. So the total magnetic field is given by B1 minus B2. So it is mu naught I divided by 4 pi A into pi by 6 minus mu naught I divided by 4 pi B into pi by 6. Okay, so mu naught I by 4 pi. Okay, so here pi gets cancelled here. Okay, so else you can keep like that. So pi by 6 will get cancelled there. Mu naught 24 by 24, mu naught I by 24, 1 by A minus 1 by B. So mu naught I by 24 AB, B minus C. So option B is correct. Option B is correct. Copy that, children. Okay, that's all, children. Thank you.